Hello guys, welcome to another weekly breakdown video. Today I'll be breaking down the Christmas week for you guys. As you can tell by now, I will be making a video starting from 23rd of December, as you can see right here. And yeah, before starting the weekly breakdown, as always I show you the news. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whole week there is no news. Only on Thursday there is unemployment claims, so we will keep that in mind. And yeah, other days there are no news. So, and also this is a Christmas week, you guys know, right? And I've already analyzed a Christmas week on 2023. On 2023 December, when I was analyzing Christmas week, we got beautiful trades on 2023. I remember I have also made a video about that. You can watch that video to get an idea. And now starting my weekly breakdown, my weekly bias is not clear. As you can see, it's a doji, and my supply demand fair value is market structure shifts, targets. I've marked every single thing. And on the dollar, as you can see, the price is kind of bullish, but it's also not one of the cleanest, because if I go to euro, also my bias is not clear. It's looking like bullish, and in here it's looking like bearish. And yeah, it's a clearly an indecision candle, so trading this week is going to be a bit tricky. So whenever the weekly bias is not clear, what I tend to do is, you guys know by now, whenever the weekly bias is not clear, we wait for Monday to play out so that we can get the bias for the next for the rest of the week, as in for the next couple of days. Like Monday gives the bias for Tuesday, gives the bias for Wednesday, gives the bias for Thursday, gives the bias for Friday. Whenever previous day session huge move order blocks are manipulated / mitigated, it's so high probability to get a move, meaning as an order block that is made in London session, for example, right? This is the London session. This made the order block here. So the Asian range did something like this, London session did something like this, right? So the New York session went up to this order block that was made on previous day's London session. So this is when a high probability, this is called a high probability zone. The fact that this is called a high probability zone is because we know that there are two major sessions in the markets, right? London and New York. So in London and New York session, the traders tends to enter the market. Most of the traders get active in those sessions. So the previous day London session, huge amount of selling happened, meaning huge amount of people enter the trades here. So what does the price do? The price goes from one liquidity point to another. Liquidity is the essence of the market, as we know. So the price on the next day's New York session goes up, sweeps liquidity from this supply zone made on previous London session, and yeah, that is when we caught a beautiful sell. This is the exact trade that I took on Tuesday, which I have already made a separate video. You can watch that. And yeah, that is what I have written here. It was a beautiful trade. And yeah, so going on the daily time frame, on Monday my bias was not clear, so I waited for Monday to close. So after this Monday candle close right here, my bias is not one of the cleanest again, but according to the daily, it's clearly bearish. My bias going on Monday will be bearish rather than bullish because of how the candle closed. And if I go to DXY, it is also aligning with DXY being bullish, as you can see right around here. Yes, there is a fair value gap to the downside, which I've also marked, as you can see right there. And according to this, according to how this Friday candle closed, Monday I was anticipating to go and fill up this fair value gap. But according to how this Monday candle closed now, Tuesday I'm looking for buys to continue with the momentum from Monday. So on Tuesday I will look for sells on GBP USD. That is when I go to the 4 hourly, the same drill you guys know by now. So on the 4 hourly, as you can see, there is a market structure shift, break of structure, and the price is in this bearish solidified range right here. So this is in this bullish solidified range. And if I draw the Fibonacci retracement, because of the change of character right there, the retracement happened to the 70% retracement, and then a huge rejection from this H4 supply zone happened. That is when I go to the H1 to mark my supply zones, because I'm looking for sales. Whenever I'm looking for sales, I mark for supply zones. Whenever I'm looking for buys, I look for demand zones. So on the H1 we can see beautiful. All you gotta do is focus on the previous day's price action, as you can see, because we trade market structure, we trade price action, and all we do is enter at our timing. That's it. That's how simple trading should be. Don't try to overcomplicate it. Don't try to overcomplicate something that is already complicated, because most people are failing. But what you want, believe in yourself. Higher low, higher high, right? So this low was broken here, and this low was broken in London session. As you can see, there was a change of character, fair value gap, market structure shift. So this was a very high probability order block to trade from, because DoviFX taught us that an order block is a high probability order block whenever it has a market structure shift, it's with the bias, which is bearish, and it has a huge fair value gap. So obviously waited for the Asian range to close, because until and unless the Asian range close, I don't do nothing. So I was looking for a trade from that supply zone, which we did got a beautiful trade. Before that, I took a trade on from the M15 supply zone that was here, which I have already back tested, so I will not show you in this video. And yeah, I took this trade after this H1 rejection, a beautiful rejection. This trade was a class setup, but it was a New York model. Obviously we trade in London, but sometimes we also get trades on New York. Trades like this, whenever it is clean, happening from a clear zone like this London session, in the live markets, I'm gonna execute these trades also. Now going on the lower time frames to show you the entry signal. As you can see, the M15. One more thing that I've learned on my backtesting journey is whenever there is a supply zone, the price, even if it enters with huge bullish momentum, if it is showing some sort of accumulation, manipulation, distribution, which is one of my entry models, or it is showing some sort of accumulation and then a change of character, we can take the trade. So like in this case, huge bullish pressure while entering the supply zone, looking like it will not get respected. That is when I go to the lower time frames. After seeing that, I will go to the lower time frames to look for some sort of accumulation or some sort of change of character. You can see the price was going up, literally accumulated in this area and then gave us a change of character. That is when I entered the market here with a 10 pip stop loss for a 1:3 risk reward. A beautiful trade played out to the T, right? So this was the trade, exactly what I explained. The previous London session, as you can see, New York session entered the previous London session and gave a move. So this is a very high class setup. As you can see, I figured it out through backtesting, and all you gotta do is do the same, repeat the same thing on the live markets, and nobody can stop you. And yeah, so now going on Wednesday, it's Christmas Day, so I didn't took the trade. Obviously I didn't took the trade as in like the markets were closed, so obviously. And this candle is about trust day, because if I'm looking for something, I will be looking for sales. So on trust day, I was looking for sales again. Let's see if I got a trade. And so on trust day, there was no Asian range, as you can see. On trust day, there was no Asian session, so I didn't do the trade again on trust day, because our strategy is based on Asian session. So if there is no Asian session, how the hell are we supposed to trade, right? So now going on Friday, the last day. This was a very tricky week, obviously, because it's a Christmas week and everyone is on holiday, or everyone is spending time outside of the charts. Now going on Friday, my bias is again bearish because of how this Monday, Tuesday and Thursday candle closed. And if I show you the news, on Thursday there was unemployment claims, and on Friday there is no news again. So now if I go to DXY, and on DXY is also, the bias also is not clear. It's clearly bearish on Thursday, and even GU, my bias is kind of bearish because of how this candle closed, and it's not clear. So what I did in this kind of scenario, you don't need to force a trade in this kind of scenario. What you need to do is close your laptop and get out of the charts for some days, or focus on some other businesses or some other crafts. Obviously, if you're a trader trading alone, you will not do trading alone. I know I have a lot of plans, so I focus on some other things. And on Friday, if I took a sell, I would have lost. And yeah, that was the weekly breakdown. It was a very tricky week. If I show you the weekly candle closed as a doji, as you can see. So the next week is also going to be tricky, because the next week is the New Year, Christmas, New Year, right? So the next week is also going to be tricky, but not a problem, bro. I have backtested so many conditions in the market right now. By now, I have survived this condition, mate. So I can survive any condition in the market. I have backtested every single condition in the market. Consolidation, months of consolidation, huge trending markets, huge like weekly profiling markets, huge ranging markets. I know, like, obviously I don't know what will happen next, but you don't need to know what will happen next. Once you have an idea, once you have built an intuition by relentlessly backtesting day and night, it's just about a matter of time, bro. Build your confidence. Don't focus on losers, or don't hang out with them, and yeah, you will see the results straight away. Journal, front test, take the trades without any reservation or hesitation, journal, and then yeah, the rest will be history. Don't give yourself unwanted pressure.